Hey, good morning, everybody. Hey, thanks for being here and showing up in the chat already. My name is Kelly Shushock, and I'm the grateful pastor here at Edges, though virtually right now. The only good thing about being the only person in the building is that I get my personal pick of the coffee mug every week. So this is today's. I almost picked the I Love Football mug, but since that wasn't true, I put it up. We've learned that it takes a minute for folks to join us live. So if you'll just go ahead and let folks know you're here in the chat when you get here. I noticed a few of you are already saying beautiful things that you did with the day yesterday. So why don't you start by answering that question? What was something beautiful that you did yesterday in the beautiful weather? So I cleaned my garage. That's what we did. We found a whole car we didn't know we had. So if you need something to do today, maybe try that. Also, while you're getting onto the chat, if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, that'd be great because there's a good chance we're going to be putting out some more content in the coming weeks. And if you're somebody who's already subscribed, you'll be one of the first to know about it. So that'd be great. Hey guys, welcome. All right, let me go ahead and start with a few announcements for this week. Last week, you may remember on this live stream, we met Brad Delaney, who is our new senior pastor at Blacksburg United Methodist Church, and Mandy Newman, who is our new Edges pastor. And they both pre-recorded a video to say hello to us. Both of those folks will be joining us here in June, but it seems like now is a good time to let them know that we're really glad they're coming. So if you'd like to help welcome them, just watch your email from Edges this week because we'll be sending you their addresses and you can drop them a card in the mail. Now is probably a good time to say that if you're not on our email list, if you'll just go to the website and scroll all the way to the bottom right, you'll find a little link there that'll let you go ahead and get on that list. Secondly, many of you know that at Edges, home groups are one way that most of us just make it day to day. Usually our home groups include about 10 people who show up in somebody's house and share dinner, and they just repeat that until it becomes natural and then essential to worship and to serve and to love in the world together. So we're not able to meet physically right now, but home groups are the way that many of us are still making it through, albeit mostly in pajamas and from our own home computers. I usually have cereal in the background of mine. That makes me wonder if there are some of you who didn't have time maybe or didn't have interest before in a home group, but now you might welcome a virtual community of consistent friends who are just trying to make it through this time. Maybe you need some people with whom you can still worship and serve and love, even from the corner of your own home. So I just thought I'd ask, is anybody who's watching right now interested in a virtual home group? Because if you are, and if there are enough of us, if you'll just let us know in the chat or via email, we'll make some plans for some more groups to begin meeting even now during this time. So you can just let us know right now, or you can go ahead and do that through an email later if that's something that would be a help to you. My next announcement is for Edges parents. So all you parents out there with young kiddos, I want to make sure that you get emails from Jessica Dodson, who is our Edges Kids Director. And if you don't, you're going to see her email right now in the chat. Go ahead and be sure to send her your information because she's going to be sending some special information this afternoon about a fun game that you can play in town with your kids this week. And we don't want any of you to miss it. So go ahead and let her know if you don't already regularly receive emails from her. So it's going to be a fun game, and I am already playing it. So that'll be fun. Also, I just wanted to say thank you for sending your prayers through the virtual prayer wall. We now have 3 groups. We did have 2, but now we have 3 groups who are praying with you each week. And that honestly is because we've just sensed the heaviness in some of the prayers. And so we want to do everything we can to be each other's people during this time. So I want to invite you this morning to keep sending the prayers from the space wherever you are, whatever now looks like for you. because collecting the concerns of the community in this way, it's also helped me as a pastor to have a sense about our community's pulse, whether our hearts are still pounding or whether we're beginning to rest a little week by week. And it's just a hard thing to know when we don't share the world in the same up-close way. So as always, you can find that virtual prayer wall on our website. And that really is helpful, and we consider it a joy to pray with you. Next, I wanted to also say that for those of you who are still able to give during this time financially, thank you for doing that, and please keep on doing it. It's probably no surprise that all businesses and all nonprofits and all churches are at different places financially these days, and we still are trying to support the people who continue to work here week by week and to continue the ministry that we have in motion, and that's becoming more and more difficult. So thank you for those of you who can still trust in this way and are still able to give. You can also do that through the website if you're able to help this week. Finally, for our last announcement, I just wanted to say a word about our new ER Eats ministry. I want you to know that I saw the food and the cards and the snacks that you provided this week, and I just thought they were such loud love. Just yesterday, I had the opportunity to speak with both Jennifer and with Devin, who are part of the Edges community and who are also part of our local ER community at Lewis Gale. And they said that right now the staff in the ER, our local ER, they're doing everything they can to prepare for the difficult and dark days that really do appear to be ahead. Well, I thought that made perfect sense, but I also know that that is one definition for anxiety. When you look into your own future and what you see feels dark and scary. So I think what we're doing is giving people a break from those necessary but also anxious thoughts with beautiful food and with prayers and with cards and with connection. I think you're actually helping heal anxiety, if even for just a few moments. So I wanted to let you know that it's time to sign up to help again this week. If you'll head on over to the website and just click on ER Eats, or just click the link that's going to pop up in the chat right now, you can help either this coming week or in the weeks to follow. I think I may have said this already, but there are lots of ways to help. You can make food or you can make cards. We need drivers. If you sign up to be a driver, just know that you will not be going into the hospital. There'll be somebody who meets you outside and collects the food. Anyway, thanks again for just being a real presence and for being a healer right now in our community. And now for our time together this morning, I wanted to tell you something that happened this past week. I was surprised by Franklin Harrison. Now, many of us are just beginning to get to know Franklin because Franklin became a member of our church family literally right before COVID hit. So some of us don't know him all that well yet. What you probably didn't know is that just prior to Edges, Franklin was a member of a church that met only virtually on purpose. And this was pre-pandemic. And so we've had some good laughs over the irony that Franklin said goodbye to a virtual church in order to find an embodied one. And now here we all are, sort of disembodied, if you will, or at least physically separated. Anyway, I told you I was surprised by Franklin because I hadn't had enough time with them to learn that while stocking shelves and managing people over at Kroger, where they work, as if that's not enough right now, stocking shelves and trying to manage the people in any Kroger, Franklin writes poetry. Many times Franklin writes poetry while doing those things at Kroger. So among other things, let this be a reminder that the person in front of us is always so much more than what we might see initially. It's with Franklin's permission that I'd like to invite us to wander around a little in their poem, mining it for strength and for beauty and even for holy help as we enter this new week. Franklin?
Hey everyone, I hope this video finds you well. I had a poem come to me yesterday and I just wanted to share with you all. I hope that it is encouraging during these difficult times that we're in right now. I hope that it expresses my love for you all and my hope that we all get through this together. Much to our displeasure, we have found ourselves in solitude, left to the sound of the record of anxieties skipping at 3 a.m. when lullabies for babies cannot calm our adult brains that have been molded by mortgages, 401k, monthly rents, and hospital bills. Our breath held hostage, we are fearful of the weight of playing cards when the houses we used them for are threatened. But let me tell you a secret held behind stained glass and unimpressive piety. The big man upstairs is neither a man nor upstairs, but within us and around us. And they told me to tell you that you still deserve moments of beauty. Those defiant blades of grass that burst through the asphalt. You deserve the right to turn your bed into a trampoline, your whisk into a microphone, and your kitchen into a concert hall that sends you bouncing back to times of innocence. And when I say that God surrounds us, I mean that God surrounds us, through you and me. So as for me, I'll knit antiviral mittens for our hearts to hold each other tightly through the miles between our bodies. My affections, a cocoon of the warmest purified air filled with music and birdsong and the scent of lilacs and sunflowers. I'll paint the walls inside your mind the calmest cerulean blue or the brightest revolutionary pink and lavishly furnish it with a deluxe mattress covered in 1,000 thread count linen sheets and plush pillows piled so high that Mount Everest will huff and puff in jealousy, all so that you can tenderly lay your fears to rest and heal them with comfort and peace and dignity. There will never be a gift more precious to us than us, you and me and us, holding each other over the distance, spinning straw into gold till all of us are free. Geography cannot halt compassion. How can love be hemmed in when love is the universe? So we climb to every rooftop, extend ourselves, and gently pull the sacred thread between us so that every spirit feels the tug.
Now, before we start, I'm going to invite each of us to go and grab a piece of paper and something to write with. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to listen to that poem again. So I actually need to get a piece of paper and a pen myself. So I'll be back in just 1 second. That'll give you guys time to do it as well. All right, guys, so what we're going to do is we're going to listen to that poem again. And this second time, as you listen, I'd like to invite you to just jot down words or phrases that seem to offer you strength or beauty or holy help. Let's listen.
Hey everyone, I hope this video finds you well. I had a poem come to me yesterday and I just wanted to share with you all. I hope that it is encouraging during these difficult times that we're in right now. I hope that it expresses my love for you all and my hope that we all get through this together. Much to our displeasure, we have found ourselves in solitude, left to the sound of the record of anxieties skipping at 3 a.m. when lullabies for babies cannot calm our adult brains that have been molded by mortgages, 401k, monthly rents, and hospital bills. Our breath held hostage, we are fearful of the weight of playing cards when the houses we used them for are threatened. But let me tell you a secret held behind stained glass and unimpressive piety. The big man upstairs is neither a man nor upstairs, but within us and around us. And they told me to tell you that you still deserve moments of beauty. Those defiant blades of grass that burst through the asphalt. You deserve the right to turn your bed into a trampoline, your whisk into a microphone, and your kitchen into a concert hall that sends you bouncing back to times of innocence. And when I say that God surrounds us, I mean that God surrounds us, through you and me. So as for me, I'll knit antiviral mittens for our hearts to hold each other tightly through the miles between our bodies. My affections, a cocoon of the warmest purified air filled with music and birdsong and the scent of lilacs and sunflowers. I'll paint the walls inside your mind the calmest cerulean blue or the brightest revolutionary pink and lavishly furnish it with a deluxe mattress covered in 1,000 thread count linen sheets and plush pillows piled so high that Mount Everest will huff and puff in jealousy, also that you can tenderly lay your fears to rest and heal them with comfort and peace and dignity. There will never be a gift more precious to us than us, you and me and us, holding each other over the distance, spinning straw into gold till all of us are free. Geography cannot halt compassion. How can love be hemmed in when love is the universe? So we climb to every rooftop, extend ourselves, and gently pull the sacred thread between us so that every spirit feels the tug.
All right, friends, I just saw that Doug Hudgens said that's going to take us all week to unpack, and of course it is. That's why you have it on the live stream, so you can revisit it many, many times, as I have already done. But for now, I'm wondering, what did you write down? What did you think? Could some of you just put a word or a phrase in the chat so that the conversation begins to grow like it usually does at Edges? This is just a new way of practicing what we've learned is already true, that what God has to offer may come through any of us. So if you'll just go ahead and put words, phrases, thoughts in the chat, perhaps that will help seal the deal or give someone something to think about this week. It's the way God grows among us. You deserve moments of beauty, holding each other over the distance. The man upstairs is neither a man nor upstairs. Geography cannot halt compassion. Defiant blades of grass. God is love. God is in us. We are love. God is within us and around us. There's a sacred thread between us. A record of anxiety skipping at 3 a.m. Every spirit feels a tug. There will never be a gift more precious to us than us. Lay your fears to rest and heal them with comfort. Turn your kitchen into a concert hall. The idea that we can no longer be quieted by the things from our childhood that once kept us so calm because of our adult burdens. Until every spirit feels a tug. Our breath is held hostage, you and me and us, holding us together. All are free. Our family says solitude, breath held hostage. Love is the universe. Mount Everest, turn your whisk into a microphone. For our hearts to hold on to each other tight. Knit antiviral mittens to hold each other. Breath held hostage. That simple statement contains multitudes right now. How can love be hemmed in? Painting the inside of our mind the calmest cerulean blue. Some sacred words, friends, for our meditating on this week. There's one line that I just needed to live this week to remember that I believe it's true. It's the line that some of you already said. It was where Franklin said, "When I say that God surrounds us, I mean that God surrounds us through us." And for me, that's a resonating hypothesis for the question, where is God right now? I'm not sure about you, but I need that hypothesis specifically in this eerie season because many of the predictable places and people in which I've sensed God's presence, many of the tasks in which I've found purpose, and many of the resources in which I've trusted God to provide for me seem to hang in the balance. I imagine much of this is true for many of you as well. What I'm trying to say is that in times like these, the peace and even the palpable presence of God can seem elusive. And so I need to remember what's still true. So I asked myself a question I'd like to ask you now. It's a question for the chat. Through whom or through what, even now, is God surrounding you? It's how we let our life tell us what's true. Through whom or through what, even now, is God surrounding you? Let me let you work on that for a minute in the chat. Through scripture, I see. Through conversations still with friends and family. Friends who have Zoom calls. Through my home group and my family. Through a strong community striving to stay in touch. Wow, for me to be okay with boredom. God coming through boredom. Through time spent in the sun. Through beautiful weather and mail. More time with my kids, through beauty and creation and through music, through ER Eats. God is surrounding me with all the signs of spring, showing love through the blooms, through nature, through chance meetings at random places. I had several of those yesterday. Through the birds singing outside my apartment. I noticed those too yesterday. Through moments of calm. Through more time at home with my husband working together and having fun together. Through our dog, Truffle. I think that's the dog's name, not through my dog and Truffles, though I certainly would find God in both of those. Through time for walking and being outside. Through neighborhood happy hours. Through deep breathing. Through the simple pleasures of being at Camp Altamon's. For brave, amazing, believing coworkers. That's how she's met God. God is surrounding through the slowed down moments, through quality time and community that's only grown stronger. Keep going, friends. Do you feel hope building even right now in the chat? God surrounding us, through us, even right now. Through a giant woodpecker never seen before, but always heard until just this morning. God surrounding us through the kindness and people's sacrifice for others. God surrounding us through us. Oh, Pearl's sister having a healthy baby yesterday. That's God surrounding for sure. Through bedtime stories that our church has every night. Well, you guys can keep going if you'd like. definitely keep going inside your own space, inside your own mind and your own heart. Franklin's poem reminded me of another old poem. It's a poem that was written to be sung, actually. It's a psalm that's recorded in the Bible about what it is to be surrounded. There's that word again. Surrounded by one who knows you intimately and who just sticks close by no matter what. Well, after reading Franklin's poem this week, I realized that one tangible way God accomplishes the incredible experiences that the psalmist paints about what it is to be surrounded by love that won't quit. One way God accomplishes this is through the holy human gift of each other. We have to ask ourselves, what does it look like to open that gift right now in this new season? Well, I'd like to share the first half of that poem with you from Psalm 139. It'll be posted in the chat if you want to follow along. But there's more than just the part I'm going to read. I'm only going to read the first half, so be sure you find time to read the rest of it in light of this conversation that we've had this morning. Also, if you don't happen to have a Bible wherever you are now, well, now's not the time to go out and buy one. So in case you don't know how to access scripture online, there are many sites. Bible Gateway is just one of them. Easy to access if that would be helpful to you in this week. Again, I'll be reading the first half or the first 10 verses of the poem about the tangible way God accomplishes surrounding us, from the psalmist. Lord, you have examined me. You know me. You know when I sit down and when I stand up. Even from far away, you comprehend my plans. You study my traveling and my resting, even these new patterns. You are thoroughly familiar with all my ways. There isn't a word on my tongue, Lord, that you don't already know completely. You surround me, front and back. You put your hand on me. How is God doing that for you? That kind of knowledge, the psalmist says, is too much for me. It's so high above me that I can't even reach it. Where could I go to get away from your spirit? Where could I go to escape your presence? You're everywhere. If I went up to heaven, you would be there. If I went down to the grave, you would be there too. If I could fly on the wings of dawn, stopping to rest only on the far side of the ocean, even there, your hand would guide me. Even there, your strong hand would hold me tight. Even there, even here, God's strong hand is holding us tight. We just got to learn to look for it in the woodpeckers and in the dirty garage and in the nature and in the newborn babies and even in the Zoom chats. How is God trying to show you that God is with you? That's a good question to just carry through the week. Said another way, through whom or through what is God holding you tight? And how might noticing it help heal you this week? Well, as you go, even into this uncertain week, maybe I should say as we go even into yet another uncertain week. Know that you have such an important thing to do. We all have such an important thing to do. Do you see it? Through your life and mine, God could still surround someone. Yes, through your life and through mine, God may need to surround someone this week, making Psalm 139 come true one more time. So let it be, friends. We've got work to do. Amen. Now I think this little chat will inform some of the songs that will appear in our midweek Sabbath on Wednesday at 7. So I'll look forward to seeing you all there again. And now, friends, may the God who seeks you find you where you fall. May the God who loves you take delight in your living. And may the God who surrounds you surround even more with joy. For in your gladness and in your grieving, in your brokenness and in your healing, in your faithfulness and in your leaving, the God who made you and redeemed you is the God who keeps all of us still. Amen.